What's good, Raider Nation? Spicy Raider Girl here with my boy Scotty Waddy, Raider One. Welcome to Monday Night Madness. Preseason's a wrap, and we're entering the regular season, and we're going to see and talk about what we think.
Fact is, I grew up in Compton, California. I was born a Raider. I was born with the Raiders rolling in the Coliseum in L.A. I was rolling with NWA, talking straight out of Compton, rocking Raider hats.
Clicked in my mind that if you just run through somebody's face, a lot of people ain't gonna be able to take that over and 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 over. Run through a motherfucker face.
I think this journey is the most special because there's not a lot of people that have the opportunity playing in high school and college and then pro and then being injured and then starting coaching as a young coach.
We understand what it's about. We understand Raider Nation. We understand Raider love. Since 1966, you guys have been coming to this stadium and you've been rooting this team on the victory. You've seen this team win 3 Super Bowls. You've been here through the ups. You've been here through the downs. But you never waver.
The mental side of the game is taking me to the next level, and it's true confidence. It's feeding your brain elite of elite. And that's, I always talk about 1% and more is required, and I always say these things, but it's what I live. I see it everywhere I go because you have to constantly train your mind for greatness.
What's good, Raider Nation? Spicy Raider Girl here with Scotty Waddy, Raider One. Welcome to Monday Night Madness. Remember, light that torch, hit that like button, subscribe, and join to become a member. If you are playing along with us tonight, the drinking game alert is regular season. You already know what to do. Our hot takes are, do we still have faith in AP? Does the win total in 2024, have you changed your mind after you've seen that preseason performance? Peterman at QB, or will he be cut? Also, the 53-man roster predictions and the importance of Week 1. The Raiders wrapped their final preseason game on Friday at Allegiant Stadium against the 49ers with a tie at 24-24, going 0-2-1 in the preseason. With the preseason in the books, we will now turn to Week 1, and we want to talk about the performance of Week 1, and we will get into that. Scotty, what's good? What are your hot takes for the evening?
Hey, all of them. That performance, I think, was kind of telling. There was something in there that I'd like to talk about today. Peterman coming in as a quarterback, started that last game there. Okay, all right. I got a couple things to say about that. 53-man roster is due tomorrow at 1 p.m. I believe that's, I'm not sure if that's Eastern time, but it's due tomorrow at 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about that, guys. Who do you think is going to make the team? Who do you think is going to get cut? Let's get into that because there's a few people out there that have really, a few people have kind of shown out a little bit. And I think a few people can just go right on ahead to that practice squad and see if somebody else picks them up. I will tell you, when we were talking about the show and what we're going to do today, Spicy, I brought up the question: has anybody's feelings changed about what we thought about what a record would be? Because mine have, to be quite honest with you.
Really?
Mine have.
Okay. I'm interested to hear this hot take.
I know. I knew you would like it. So I think we did the prediction show a few months back, and I believe I was at 13 wins, 12 wins, 13 wins. I think had the highest total between me, you, and Jerry. Shout out to Jerry. What's going on, my brother?
Let me get off my stats here.
There it is. I can't lie. I don't know about that. Now, I will hold on to this, and you guys let me know what you guys think in the chat. You guys let me know if you guys want to jump on in here. Jump on in and let me know. Holler at me, scream at me if you want to. That's okay. Tell me I ain't a real fan because I changed my mind. That's okay too.
Well, what did you change it to? What did?
One of two things is going to happen. Either last show I said, "Are we holding out?" And I kind of feel I want to touch on that too because I think we might be. But if we're not holding out on what we really got, I think we might be a 500, well, 17 games, but 500-ish team at best, if
Yep.
that's what we got. And I I know it's just preseason. It doesn't count, but it matters.
Right.
Um, I just didn't see too much. I'm really hoping that we were holding our cards. I hope we were not showing what we really want. On that note, I'd like to go ahead and say this. It was very interesting to me. After game 2, we had a show last week, and I said, are we holding something out? Are we holding back on something? Well, it was very interesting to me that right after that, they announced that no starters would be playing. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if we need that much help, if we were that horrible because we looked like crap in that second game, we looked horrible and pathetic. I said what I said. If we were holding back there, why not get your starters into action for game 3? So I'm going to hold on to that thought that maybe we are not showing our hand right now. I hope that's the case. I hope that's the case. Um, that's my take on the preseason. Essentially, I'd like to go ahead and mention something about these new guys that are coming in. Peterman, I don't think he looked any damn worse than Minshew or AOC. I'll be quite honest with you. I'm not
Yeah.
saying I was uh, impressed with them that much, but I'm not saying he looks worse than either
I
of
mean,
those.
to me, they're all backups in my opinion. All three
Oh,
of them. They're all
definitely,
backups in my
absolutely,
opinion.
absolutely.
Minshew, I think he came out as rated 25 in the league. You know, and the
Yeah,
quarterback position, that's obviously extremely low.
sure.
I think that's gonna be a challenge. And just to go back to kind of like your win loss prediction, when we did our prediction show, I thought I was being very generous, optimistic as well, and giving them that 9-8 record. I really thought it was probably more like 8-9, but I was trying to give them a little more. So Vegas had them recently at 6.5. I think once Minshew was named, they bumped him up to 7. So 7 wins on the season. You had them at 13. I'm looking at the stats here, or excuse me, the over under odds. There's not one team that Vegas has over 11.5. And I think last year Baltimore the only one that went 13? I mean, that's a tall order.
I believe so. I
That's a
believe so.
tall order. You're looking, and I like using the Vegas odds because they seem like they're never wrong. Like if you want spoiler alerts, just whatever they say is gonna happen is gonna happen. It always
It's funny
seems
you
more or
say that
less.
because today I was thinking that I was like, why is Vegas never wrong? Why like I love the underdog. I love the underdog in the movies. I love the underdog everywhere, and I love being the underdog. But they're never damn wrong, and I'm like, God,
They're
they never.
almost never wrong. They've got
Jeez.
they've got let's see, 1, 2, 4, about 4 teams at 11. And obviously the Raiders are at the bottom of that. There's only a few teams that are going to finish worse according to these odds, maybe like 3. So I think it's gonna be a long season, to be honest. Buckle up, enjoy it while you can. And I want to segue into this a little bit later, but I want to get into the chats, and that's why I want to talk about how important I think Week 1 is. But if you're watching over on Facebook, come over and watch on YouTube. Join the conversation. If you want to join the madness, the link is pinned to the top. Hit that StreamYard. Join us backstage, and we want to hear your opinion on how, if your opinion is that the Raiders changed, if your opinion of the Raiders has changed after preseason. What's good? We have Mother Moon in the building. Ana Diaz, good evening to
What's up,
you.
Hannah?
What's good? What's good?
What's going on, April?
Raider Rhino, come over, join us on the YouTube. She has Peterman Mania, right? She also said if Minshew starts, we go 8-9. I know you love you some OAC, but I mean I think 8-9 is probably realistic on no matter who starts. What's up, Omar? What's
Boy,
good? We will beat the odds. I mean, honestly, they might beat the odds. The odds are only 7. I mean, let's hope they beat the odds, right?
yeah.
I mean, that's the best we can wish for, I think. But yeah, go ahead, join the conversation. Before we transition into how important Week 1 is, do you want to talk about who you think will make this 53-man roster that's going to be released tomorrow.
Uh,
I'll just say this. I'll just kind of blanket it. I actually don't think there's going to be very many surprises. I think we know who the team's going to be. Um, but you had a little different take on it, right? You think we might be surprised a little?
I think there might be a couple surprises in there. I'm hearing a lot of talk about Abdullah not making the team. And
Oh,
that would be a little bit of a surprise. Not that he's that great or anything like that. I just thought that he was going to be in there. But this McAllister kid is really he he showed out. He showed out, especially this last preseason game. He acted like he wanted the job, not like two quarterbacks that I've heard of before. Yeah, he really looked like he wanted to be a Raider.
okay.
I really dug it.
Real
There's
quick,
one.
Scotty, but before you carry on with your prediction, let me just tell everyone who's already been cut as of today. So we have wide receiver Terrell Bynum was waived, DL Marquand McCall waived, CB Wu Governor waived, TD Noah Shannon waived, DE Rod Stone waived, another DE TJ Franklin waived, and CB Rashad Williams also waived as of today. So they already made some cuts. So, but please continue.
Yeah. The one kid I do want to talk about that I think showed out and doesn't get looked at as much because the stats on defense aren't as pretty as the stats on offense, of course. But this kid, Amari Gainer, linebacker. Whoa. He had 10 tackles that last game. He was flying
Hmm.
all over the field. And I'm really hoping that he makes the cut. That kid looks like he wants to play. I don't know who else saw this, noticed this, but that kid looks like he wants to play, and I'm all about it, especially at the linebacker position. Um, I'll tell you
Yeah,
this.
just to elaborate on that, Gainer finished the preseason strong with 12 tackles. Like it was 12 tackles actually against the 49ers.
Was it
He
12?
looks like he could be a future starter, but I think the Raiders definitely keep him as a reserve as well.
Definitely. I'm hoping, he comes in as a who is this guy and surprises everybody. But I was really impressed with that kid. So that's one that I would be surprised if he didn't make the team. That would be a surprise to me. Let's see here. There was one other person that I can't remember. Damn it, I lost my train of thought. But there was one other person that I thought, I'm not really sure. There's another kid, running back, Sincere McCormick. I'm not sure if he'll make the team, but I kind of wouldn't be mad if he did make the team. I know his college career because he's right up the street here at University of Texas San Antonio. I know he was pretty decent there. We drafted him. He was hurt that whole first year, and now I've only seen him in preseason. I guess I'd like him. I'd like to see what he can do. I mean, the running back position. I'm not 100% convinced on
I
Zamir
mean,
White.
do you, who else goes though, right? I don't think they're
That's
going
what
to
I'm
keep
saying.
they're going
Yeah,
to keep four running backs.
yeah.
Alexander Mattinson, Amir Abdul, Dylan Labe. Like I don't where does he fit into that? Probably gonna get cut.
It's a very good possibility. A lot of people are talking about Laube or Laube. I don't know how you say it, but whatever. Because of the fumble and whatever. Hey, man, every running back fumbles the ball. Come on,
Fumbles and
um,
picks are going to happen in preseason.
it
It's
happens.
kind of been surprising to me a little bit how there's been so much attention on these things, especially that AOC pick six against the Dallas game. Those are going to happen.
Yeah,
It just yeah,
yeah.
that aspect's a little surprising,
The best of the best have thrown an interception. The best of the best
right?
have fumbled the ball. It is what it is. If it's something that keeps happening, well, that's a different story. But at this point, that doesn't worry me. I looked at his college tape, and again in college, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's out of New Hampshire. Um, it looks good there. But you never know what's going to translate from college to pro. Um, but if he doesn't make the team, I would kind of be surprised because they drafted him. They must have seen something in him, and I don't think one fumble should, define him. Um, but that would be a surprise. The other kid, DJ Glaze, I think he's going to make the team. I'm kind of
Hmm.
glad that he's going to make a team. I liked his showings. Um, and there was what's Eichenberg.
Yep.
Eichenberg that we drafted also. I'm not sure about him. I'm not sure if he'll make it or not. You guys tell me in the chat what you guys saw in the preseason, yay or nay on those.
Yeah, DJ Glaze, going back to him really quickly, he's projected to, I believe he's projected to make the team as a reserve.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm seeing Rick over there talking to DJ Glaze. Yes. Yeah. I would agree. Hope he, I hope he makes the team. There's some interesting comments in there. Can we go to
Tommy Eichenberg is also projected to make the team as a reserve, leaving
Good.
Deshaun White. And Rick can help me say this name maybe. Kanana I Maga.
Yeah, I believe he was going to get cut.
Jackson Mitchell, they are probably the ones that are going to miss the cut. And of course, we've got Robert Spillane and Divine Diablo as the starters.
Yeah. So, like I said, going into one of the other things that you mentioned was, what do we expect for week 1?
Not so much what do we expect, what is the importance of it, I think is a bigger question and a greater conversation. And the
Well-
reason why I asked that question, the importance to me, I think, is huge for several reasons. Coming out of the gate strong with starting 1-0 is going to be a huge morale boost for the team, and we need that momentum going into the season, I think. Not only that, you have this game in LA, right? Like the real home opener where the fans actually turn up and turn out. So that is so important because I really think they're going to go to Baltimore and it's going to be a no contest. And we don't want to start out 0-2, come back to the home opener at 0-2. Coming back home opener 1-1, probably going to hopefully destroy the Panthers, end up 2-1. And to me, that's like the biggest deal ever, because if you lose that first game, I mean, I think they're already going to be in the hole going into week 3, 0-2. And that's already a huge hole to dig out of.
I couldn't agree with you more. Winning game 1 is absolutely monumental. We have to win that first game. Division rival, home game. We have to win that because we turn around, we go to Baltimore. That's going to be a tough game. We better go in there with some type of confidence into Baltimore to at least make it a game. Baltimore's gonna be tough. There's no doubt about it. We all know that. But coming back home 0-2 I think is pretty demoralizing across the board. I think you will have deflated all the AP hype, if you will, if we go to 0-2, and that's not okay. So a 1-1 is very manageable. It's very reasonable, especially if we're coming back home against the Panthers. No game's an easy win. We all know this. But at least, at bare minimum, coming back home at 1-1 is monumental. It's monumental. But that first game would be great. Can we be 2-0? I guess possible. Yes. Again, I'm hoping we held a whole bunch back, especially on defense against Baltimore. Can we be 2-0? Sure, we could. But not with what we put out in preseason. I'll tell you that. Let's put it that way.
Right.
But
The interesting thing is, I think, about the Chargers, I believe they are the favorites going into week 1.
they
But
always are.
very close, very close. It's like basically they're giving them that little bump because they're the home team. But they might be playing on a field that says the Chargers, but in this aspect, they're not actually the home team. So I think that's kind of a wash in that aspect.
Yeah, but you also got to remember that they're giving Harbaugh all this credit and all this hype because of so that has something to do with it in and of itself.
Well, yeah, and then you look at it, and I know people argue Herbert hasn't done anything, and I get that. But really, I mean, Herbert's a better quarterback than Minshew.
Well, sure, no, absolutely.
So whether you like him or not, or you say he hasn't done anything or not since he's made the league, I mean, he's certainly a better quarterback. So there are aspects there that to me are concerning. And I know people are going to look back about, we beat him to 63 to blah, 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 and whatever, but that means nothing at this point.
It means
Nothing.
It means nothing. This is a whole new deal. This is a whole new regime. This is a whole new quarterback. It means nothing. And the same on their side. It's the same thing. They have a whole new regime over there too. Same quarterback, but whole new regime.
Right.
So game one is monumental. I absolutely feel like we have to win this. And in the AFC West, there's no playing from behind. There's no playing from behind. No, you can't do it. You can't do it.
You know, I think the coaching aspect in week one is going to be interesting, right? Because we have really two first year coaches in Antonio Pierce and in Harbaugh. So, and whether it was in our fantasy minds or predicting minds of who was going to be the Raiders coach and would Harbaugh end up with the Raiders, whether there was any truth to that or consideration to that, that was there. So this will feed into that hype of AP. Did the Raiders make the decision? Did they hire the right coach? All those sorts of narratives are going to start to become
There
a
were
headline, and
there
that's
were a
going to
lot of,
lead again to the importance not over to win just for the record's sake, but to win for AP. And was this the right decision? Can he actually win the games that we need to win? I think all that's going to be so important with going into this week one.
yeah, there was how many fans out there were saying, "Oh, we should have got Harbaugh. We should have got Harbaugh." There was a lot.
Yeah.
There was a lot of them out there saying, and that's I told you, and this and that and the other. But at the end of the day, that's another reason why that game is so monumental. You gotta bring the fan base along with these things. And again, we're gonna go 2 games away into the. I, I better not see that many damn Carolina fans. Come on, man. Does Carolina have fans? There's like 6 of them.
I don't
Really?
know, but the last two preseason games I went to, and I'll just stick to this season. We'll base it up this season and not the last however many. The last two preseasons were heavily, heavily, heavily favored in the stands with the opposing team.
Sure.
The noise level, the vibe of it all, the jerseys, and we hope. I mean, the 49ers and the Cowboys, you're like, okay, they could bring a good crowd. But if the Raiders, like this, I think this is your point, right? If the Raiders can't get a home field advantage in their home opener against a team like Carolina, who doesn't really not even have a following, but also they're a terrible team.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
Absolutely.
like that's going to be really telling, I think.
That's to go in there 0-2 and then have the opposing team be bigger than us. That's against Carolina. That's got to be demoralizing as hell. It
Yeah.
has to be. It's demoralizing me thinking about it. I can't imagine. I mean, come on, and then and we can't forget though, Carolina gets paid too. They came to play a football game, so you go in there it's feeling some type of way, and they're coming to play. So that's not going to be okay. But
This is an interesting question here. Anthony Estrada says, there shouldn't be a game like that this season, but spicy. Question. What game will the Raiders not show up like last season with the Bears and 2 years ago against the Saints? And I'll even throw in last year against the Vikings. Let's hope none. Let's hope none. Especially let's hope not the Carolina game.
is the question, what game will the Raiders as players not show up, or what game will the Raiders as the nation not show up? Is that
No, I think he means the Raiders as players because they played the Bears away last season, and that performance against a poor team was abysmal.
right?
That's what I
and
think the question
Saints,
is.
and you're right, against the Vikings last year also. We just can't afford to do that again. That's game 3, and we can't afford to be that far behind in the AFC West. There's not that many games in the season. Not that many games in the season to be able to,
Hi, we have a caller. Are you there? Oh, we lost the caller. Call back if you want to. If you're camera shy and you want to give us a call back. The number was just on the screen, but give us a call back if you would still like to chat.
Let me get to there's a comment in here. Rick Samorano, my boy from Hawaii. 2 comments. I'm smoking a Macanudo cigars. My first time trying it. Is not staying lit. there, Rick. So I'm not going to recommend this one, but my go to is AJ Fernandez New World Cigars. If you want to know that, uh, Rick also mentioned Tyree Wilson. That's also been a question. Um, does Tyree? I was hoping he would show out this year. I really was. He didn't show up in preseason. Again, which player did show up in preseason other than ones that we didn't know their names until they were playing? Um, Again, I'm hoping that we were holding back on what we're trying to do, but I had big hopes on Tyree Wilson doing something. He got his off season. He got some. He looked with some improvement at the end of last year. So I was hoping that he would be
Yes.
able to
I vote yes. I vote
stem off
yes.
that. Do I dare on what?
I think she means chat. Join the join the
Oh,
madness. I think she means join the madness.
I need to know what you think about Peterman there, April.
Yo,
What
y'all
do you?
got a call in line like the radio? I can dig it. We do, and there it is it was up on the screen just now. 510-394-4409. If you're camera shy and you don't want to join the madness on screen with us, you can join the madness by calling in this dial-in number. We want to hear your take of how you think this season will go after we're always excited, right? We're always excited when the draft comes around and looking forward to the season starting. And then we saw our team go 0-2-1. And again, I know it's preseason, but still, there were I definitely saw some disappointments there. I think my biggest disappointment from the preseason was the accuracy and the strength of our starting quarterback, Minshew's arm. That
Yeah,
concerns me.
absolutely, absolutely. And knowing that he's named the starter, um, I I still believe AOC should have gotten the nod on that. I thought he had the belt to lose, and I don't think he lost it per se. Um, we'll see. It's there's something about this. There's something about this decision that I think we'll find out later. But I'll tell you what, I like Peterman better than both of them in
All right,
preseason.
we got Big Daddy on the line, Scotty. If you
Whoa,
don't mind, I'm going to let him join the madness. What's good, Big Daddy? Talk to us.
Good to be back. I've been unsuccessful the last couple of times trying to go on the StreamYard, but I knew eventually I'd get on here somehow. How you guys doing? You guys doing great?
Yeah, we're doing great. We're looking forward to
Yes.
hopefully a winning season. What's your take on it? I know you always have a lot of good things to say.
Yep.
Okay, let me be a voice of reason, especially for my brother Scotty. Scotty, number one, we're not going to win 13, but we're not going to win 8. I think we're going to win somewhere between 10 and 11 games. Getsy didn't show everything. It made it look like we had a pair of 2s or 3s in preseason on the offensive side. Amari Gainer is the real deal.
Got you.
Take number 2. Take number 3. We're catching Baltimore in the second game, not the 12th game when they're rolling. That's why we can start this season easily 2-0 or at the worst 3-1. So I'm telling all Raider Nation, no matter who is our quarterback, as long as we got the number 1 defensive line in all of football, you know, there is no defensive line better than the ones we got. I think we can actually start 4-0 or 3-1 at the minimum, Familia. I'm optimistic about us winning the division. You know, we picked the right coach. He's finally handling timeouts the right way. I didn't like how he did the timeouts a couple of games ago in preseason. But you know what? I'm very optimistic on how things are going to go this year. I didn't like Robbie getting hit and fumbling the ball. We showed some heart. We didn't lay down against the 49ers. You know, and I'm optimistic about this year, absolutely. So let's keep this positive window open, wide open.
You know, let me address something that you said there, Big Daddy. We faced Baltimore week 2. I didn't consider that. That's a pretty interesting take on that. I kind of appreciate the comment, and I hope you're right. You know, I hope you're right. You're right. We're not facing them late in the season when they get rolling. They're going to be new, just like us. And that defense, they say defense wins championships. So, okay, I'm not mad at the take. I mean, it's an optimistic take. I'm not mad at it. But I think you make a good point about Baltimore being faced so early in the season.
Another thing I wanted to add, I believe in the next 24 hours we're going to add a veteran presence at DB
Mm-hmm.
because they're going to let, if they're going to let, and either like I chat, I think it's going to be a Dory Jackson or James Bradbury, somebody of that level. 1 year, 3, 4, 5 million. We need somebody there in case Bennett gets hurt or Jack gets hurt. But we can't have all kids back there. I like Palomalo to back up Hobbs because we know Hobbs winds up getting a hospital bracelet after 3 or 4 games. He's always hurt, man. So to me, me personally, what I would do right now, if anybody gives me a 5th rounder for Tyree Wilson, I would take it right now.
Okay.
Okay? Because we got some backups like Snowden, Robinson that have outperformed Wilson. He's a really nice guy, but to me, he's already shown me he's Cleveland Terrell 2.0.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Big Daddy. We always appreciate your take. Thank you for calling.
Interesting
you.
comments there. I'm not. There was somebody in the chat talking about don't throw Tyree Wilson away yet. I don't think I want to throw him away just yet. Actually, I'd like to see what he can do again. I'm hoping that I'm hanging on to that feeling that maybe we were holding something back in preseason. I think he should have improved. If he can't improve within your first few games, come on, man.
Well, the projections are that the Raiders will keep him as a reserve, so we'll see if we get a surprise out of that. And I don't want to talk about this too long, but I am excited to see if the Raiders will make any moves when these cuts do happen. And speaking of having a home field advantage against the Carolina Panthers, if you want, I am having a raffle for the home opener. Go on to Spicy Raider Girl on Facebook if you want to join. I did a pre-sale, so we're already about 25% full. We've got about there's 100 spots, so if you want to join, pop on there. The ticket or the entry fees are 1 entry for $15, 2 entries for $25, or 5 entries for $50. But if you're watching the show right now, I'm gonna give everyone here a deal: $10 per entry. Just go to Facebook. I'm going to post it right after we get off here. Just put in the comments the number you want and that you want the YouTube deal, and then we'll get you entered for $10 a spot. And we'll see once we sell out. We'll go live on this show, and hopefully we can get some more Raiders fans in there with some tickets.
Yeah, there's some interesting comments that I'm seeing there. Nice. Oh, here we go. Let's go. Who is
We
it?
got somebody backstage, baby.
Ooh.
Hey! Oh, she got the daggers out. April in the building. What's good, girl? What's your take?
I don't fucking know anymore. I'm so scared. I'm scared. Somebody help me, because you know what? They want to talk about Minshew Mania. I don't know. Peterman looked kind of good on that game, even though we tied.
Well, you got to also mention that we tied against their starters. They played their starters in the beginning.
I understand that. Peterman looked. I mean, I'm like, wait a minute, what is happening right now? Peterman looked good. I don't know.
I think he looked better than the other two in preseason.
To be honest with you, they didn't really. I mean, I can't say anything against AOC because they really didn't really play him that much. But compared to Minshew, I mean, even AOC compared to Minshew had better stats. Like I said before, the only stats Minshew had was he had scores. That's it. I don't know what is going on with the Raiders. I can't call it right now. I don't know. I'm a little scared. We're going into the season in 2 weeks, and if we don't win against that khaki arse, I'm not going to say it. If we do not beat the Chargers, I do not know what in the hell is going on.
You said khaki. You talking about Jim Harbaugh?
I'm talking about. I can't stand watching him. I can't stand seeing him. He's gonna wear khakis on the sideline, and I'm gonna be triggered. I'm gonna be triggered.
That's hilarious.
And a visor.
No, it's facts. I speak facts. Those are facts.
That's
And I'm
hilarious.
just like I just don't see the Raiders need to beat the Chargers. Period. If
Yeah.
we lose to the Chargers, we do have a tough schedule. I mean, the Ravens, and my thing with the Ravens is like this. Okay, it's Lamar. Everybody's hyped on Lamar. Okay, whatever. But they're iffy with me. They're iffy. They've been iffy with me for the past like 6 seasons. I don't really
13-4 is iffy.
I'm sorry, but
I would love to be that iffy.
I'm iffy with I understand it.
Can we
I'm
get that kind of iffy?
Maybe
I don't
let me
know.
hold on. Let me help you.
And now you've got a running back you've got who did they just sign? What was it, Derrick Henry? Or whoever they've got another running back against Lamar. I just don't see it happening. But the Ravens are tough regardless. But if we don't beat the Chargers on day one, I don't know.
I think that's huge. Beating the Chargers at day one after week 5 will I think either determine the Raiders will have a winning record or a losing record. If they beat the Chargers after week 5, I think they'll be 3-2. If they don't beat the Chargers, they're going to be 2-3. And then you kind of get into a really, really tough stretch, leading into that bye week. I think the first game is I think the most important game of the season.
Absolutely. And I just, from what I've seen in preseason, I can't call it because I don't understand it. Like, I'm watching it and I'm like, I'm trying to like figure it out and say, okay, this is this and that is that. And I can't even decipher it because it doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't make any sense.
No, and I agree with you, April. Some of this stuff that they're doing, it doesn't make sense to me either. It really doesn't. It's weird, and that's why I keep hanging on to. Did we hold things back in preseason? That's why I keep hanging on to that thought.
I'm absolutely confused where the Raiders are going right now, and I was very hyped when I'm still hyped with AP. I'm still hyped with him. However, watching these last 3 games, and I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore. I don't know if the Raiders are holding back, if, it's, I don't know what it is. But from what I've seen, yikes. I really, honestly, with Minshew starting, I retract my statements, my receipts from back months ago. I'm telling you, we go either 8-9 or 9-8. And I don't even know if we see a playoff with Minshew. I don't know. I don't see it. I just don't. He doesn't, like Spicy, you mentioned it before. He doesn't have the arm reach for Devontae, which brings me to another thing. If I see one more post about Devontae Adams leaving the Raiders, I don't blame him, but I'm like, I'm tired of seeing it. Of seeing it. This negativity crap I'm done with it. Look, either he's going to stay or he's not.
That stuff's it's going to happen at social media. People say whatever the hell they want to say, but I don't think he's going to leave just yet.
I don't know that he's going to leave this year, but does Minshew have the arm? No. He doesn't have that capacity to throw to Devontae. So I don't see Devontae getting a lot of catches this year. I really don't.
I mean, he's not going to get the long ones, that's for sure.
No.
I mean, because two things have to happen for that to happen, right? Like the O-line has to protect Minshew. Well, 3 things actually. O-line has to protect Minshew long enough for Devontae to get down the field. Minshew needs to stay in the pocket a little longer. I think the scrambling, people are saying that's his thing. He can get himself out of situations. What I saw in the Dallas game, I thought he kind of just scrambled too often and too early. And then Minshew's gonna have to have the arm strength and the accuracy to get it to Devontae down the field. And those 3 things, are they going to happen regularly? I just don't have the confidence in it.
Well, don't forget about Trey Tucker. He's got a jet on him, and is he going to be able to get it to him also?
Here's the thing: we have all the components. We're missing the one. Like literally, we're missing it because I'm like looking at the roster. I'm like, oh my God, we've got this defensive line that is a savage. We've got, I mean, the O line is okay, and it's but the targets and all that, it's there. What are we gonna do to like to get there? Me personally, we're gonna have a long season.
Yep. Yep.
Oh fuck, a long season, and you know it's gonna be.
Welcome
The
to the Raiders.
We have a question for you. Victor asked, did she say Peterman looked good? Peterman played below average.
Okay.
I thought she said Peterman played just as well as the others,
He did. Sorry. I mean,
which none of them really looked that good. So
I mean, we tied a game. I mean, okay, we tied a game. I mean, he did better than what Minshew and AOC did. We tied a game. So I seen the I don't know what it was the touchdown. It was the adjustment that was made. I don't know where he threw it to. I don't know, but I was like, well, shit, bring Peterman on. Shit, if you're gonna cancel AOC, you gotta bring. I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. People are gonna hate. People are gonna talk that smack. That's fine. At the end of the day, like you said, Spicy, and you said, Scotty, we've got right now 3 backup quarterbacks. I don't think AOC is a backup, but okay, whatever. I'll roll with it. But I don't know. We tied a game. We didn't lose a game. We tied a game. So it is what it is.
Well, again, I'll go back to preseason matters, but it doesn't count. So we don't know what we really have yet.
And that's the thing. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's preseason. I try not to watch these preseason games. All I wanted to see was game 1, just to see what was going to happen with AOC and Minshew, you know. And then they threw Peterman in the mix. I'm like, oh, okay. His accuracy was pretty good. I'm not saying I'm not saying he's going to be a starter, but I mean, he didn't lose a game technically. He tied a game. I'm not saying it was just him that tied the game, but shit. Okay.
I mean, honestly, and not to disregard your opinion, because I think it's valid, but it's more like this argument is so benign because they're all reserves.
Right.
They're all reserves.
I get that.
We need a starting quarterback.
I hate preseason. I don't like to watch preseason. I got wrapped up in preseason. I'm like, why am I watching this? Why? This is just crazy. All I wanted to see was the quarterback situation, and I'm not happy with what they chose, but I have to deal with it, and I'm going to roll with it, and we'll see what happens when we play against the Chargers. I mean, that's just the bottom line, you know. And if Minshew can do it against the Chargers, cool. Yay, you Minshew, semi-mania, whatever. Okay, but I'm not in Minshew mania. I'm not in Uncle Rico. I'm not a fan of him, but I mean, whatever. Okay, we'll see what happens.
All right, girlfriend. Well, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you joining the madness. We'll see you next time. All right. Remember, light that torch, hit that like button, call in if you have a comment, if you have an opinion, or you can appear live on the show. It's pinned to the top there. There's a lot of comments going on, too many to keep up with, but we'll just keep the ball rolling here. I am going to try to bring you some content on this Wednesday. I just want to give a big thank you to our partner as brand ambassadors on this show, and a supporter and a sponsor of this show. On behalf of Woodson Whiskey, they have invited me to go to the facility for the State of the Team taking place this Wednesday. So hopefully I will be able to bring you some content, either live or at least report back with some cool footage and things of that nature. So look out for that. And again, shout out to Woodson Whiskey.
Sure. Definitely. Some interesting comments today, I'm looking at some interesting comments in the chat also. I know last week you spoke about, so the AP regime says it's Minshew, AOC, and then Garoppolo by the way that they did things.
By the way, he decided how to start people start the quarterbacks. Yep.
I looked at that. I was like, so wait, is it AOC, or I'm sorry, Minshew, AOC, Peterman, then then Garoppolo. Dang, I was like, well, and I was just making fun of it. I understood your point, and it's true. That is how they that's how they classified him. But the picking up Peterman was interesting, and I guess we'll see. I think he can beat out either one of those for at least the 2 spot. To be quite honest with you, will he be? Will he do that? I don't know, but I think he can. Based on what I saw, what I've seen, uh, yeah, I think he can.
Yeah. I mean,
We'll see.
again, who cares?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. We're basically saying who's the best loser.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, who cares? Anything else we want to talk about
Yeah,
besides all of our backup quarterbacks we have?
yeah. No, no. On positive notes again, I'm going to go back to Amari Gainer.
Okay.
I think that's a great positive note. I'm going to be looking at that kid. I man, flying all over the field and trying to play, trying to earn a spot. I'm not mad at that, man. You know, there were some other players out there that we expected to do a lot more, and they weren't showing out like that. Again, it's preseason. I got you. That's fair. But this kid balled out. This kid balled out, and I really, I'm hoping we can see big things from him.
No, I think that's what we expect to see in preseason. That's what I expect to see preseason. I want to see somebody ball out. I want to see somebody hungry to make the team. I want to see someone that doesn't have that attitude that it's preseason. Like, you're surviving, for your life, your job, your livelihood. So
Right.
to see somebody ball out, to me, that excites me, because a lot of times you do see, besides the starters that aren't going to play or whatnot, a lot of this stuff is dismissed. And I've always said this. I think preseason is very important, and it
Yeah.
shouldn't be dismissed really the way it is.
Yeah, yeah, and it's changed so much. I mean, we went from 4 games to 3 games, and none of the starters want to play, and none of the coaches want to show their hand, and all that kind of stuff. But it, well, to me, at least, I felt like before it wasn't like that. Like, they didn't really play the first game, they didn't really play a little bit the second game, but the third and the fourth game, you had the starters in there, and they were getting ready. It seemed like before, and now it's like, oh, we're not playing any of our starters for the third preseason game.
Right.
Okay, so is the first 2 games of the season our litmus test? Well, yeah, it has to be. There's no way around it, because then you're going to see the team. That's we're going to go in. I don't. How do you say? Oh, jump in the deep end. I didn't want to say that a different way. Jump in the deep end. Yeah, clearly that's what we're going to do, because some of our starters haven't even touched the field, a few of them. So
Who really, though? Just, I mean, Devontae, obviously.
Devontae, he was having a kid, and I get all that.
I feel like, isn't it just only Devontae? Who else?
I don't know. Max didn't play too much, but he was in there.
Well, he played the entire second half of the Cowboys game.
Was it the entire second half? Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
No,
all
excuse
right.
me, the entire first half. Excuse me.
First half.
The
Okay.
the entire first half of the entire first half of the second game.
Okay. Again, we'll see, but it looks like we're going in there on the experiment at day 1. Week 1. It looks like we're going in there fresh, if you will. you know, but a lot of teams are doing that too. A lot of other teams are doing that. And we'll
Victor,
see.
again, call in and tell us about it. Give us your opinion. We want to hear it. That's what this show is for. This show is for you to give us your opinion. Call in or appear. Minshew is a better quarterback than you're giving him credit. He's the best. No, he is horrible. No. If the Raiders defense is as good as last season or better, all he has to do is average. I think that's what we're saying. I think we're agreeing with you. I think we're saying that. He's not great and he's not terrible, but this is not a quarterback, in my opinion, that is going to win a division and or take us to the playoffs and have a strong run.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think to be better, honestly, I think the Raiders are going to finish third. They are really going to be fighting for a third place win. If they can squeak in to a playoff spot at like that 500-ish number, I'll be happy. And I kind of think to manage expectations that's what we're gonna get. And we're saying the same thing. They're average. Exactly. They're average. Average. Can it win a Super Bowl? I suppose. The likelihood of them winning a Super Bowl, not so much. I mean, that's the goal here, right? So
Second place is the first loser.
yeah, I kind of think we're saying the same thing. And I think
I
we just
agree.
need something better than 3 backup quarterback options to really make a run and being a elite team in the NFL. And to me, that statement is so cut and dry. There's no gray area. And to me, it blows my mind how nobody can understand that opinion. But it's my opinion.
I totally understand that opinion. We are going in with backup quarterbacks. It's the most important position on the field. We are in the AFC West. Come on now, that's pretty strong division. No, I don't disagree with what Victor is saying there. But he doesn't stop being a backup quarterback. He is what he is, and that's okay. But that's what he is. You know?
Yeah, and I said that's what they all are. That's what all three. That's what every quarterback on the Raiders team right now, whether they're going to be cut or not, they're all, in my opinion, backup quarterbacks.
Yes.
I mean, there's the argument that Minshew had the same kind of, resembled the numbers of Gannon and all this kind of stuff. But I just don't see it happening. If you see it happen, I'm just being real. I could sit here and all day and be like yelling that the Raiders, from the top of my lungs, that the Raiders are the best team and they're going to make the Super Bowl and all this stuff. I don't see it.
Yeah. No, I hate those comparisons. You're talking about 2 different teams, 2 different eras. Just, it's a different league you're talking about with when Gannon was in.
Totally.
Totally. It just, those comparisons don't, and I've heard them. I'm not saying I've heard the comparison. I'm like, what does it matter? What does it matter? The Raiders typically beat this team. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's irrelevant.
Doesn't matter. That's why I say, people, the argument of the 63-game win and, we spoiled the Chiefs' Christmas. Like, I'm sorry, their Christmas was spoiled and they got a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
Yay? We're really bragging about that? That's something to brag about? We sound foolish. Not we, I don't say that. The people who say that to me sound foolish.
Completely agree. The goal is to get a Lombardi trophy. Second place.
How about this? How about the goal is just to improve every year? Can we start there instead of staying idle or moving backwards? Like, how about the goal is to improve every year?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm not even seeing that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, I'm going to go back to my draft day. We should have gotten a quarterback. I got to go back to that because, again, if we go to a 500-ish, give or take season, we're in the same position we were last year. So then what? You're in the same position. You still got to do something at that quarterback slot. If we end up worse, we still got to do something at that quarterback slot. Why did we move parallel? Why did we move to level? For what?
Yeah.
I thought we were supposed to improve. And
John wants your opinion here. What free agents are out there that are better than what we have? And I think this is the second part of his question is at the quarterback position.
I'm not sure I can name off the top of my head what quarterbacks we have. But that's why I maintain we should address this in the draft. I'm not mad at Brock Bowers. That's great. It was a great pickup, but it didn't address the need. So prove me wrong, Telesco. Prove me wrong, AP. Go ahead. Prove me wrong that we needed to take the best player on the board, no matter what position he was. That's cool. Prove me wrong. I hope you do. But look what we got. Look what we're talking about right now. We are talking about which one of the bullshit quarterbacks we have can be better than the other bullshit quarterback we have.
Exactly. That's why I'm so confused why this even is such a hot topic.
Yes.
So should we get this average guy or that average guy?
Yeah, we're sitting. Look at
Who cares?
We're sitting here talking about
Who cares?
which average is better than the next average.
Yeah.
About no. This needs to be addressed. I'm not sure who's a free agent, to be quite honest with you. Addressing the person's comment, but I'll tell you what. I wish we had taken Trey Lance, and everybody's going to say, "Oh, Trey Lance threw all these interceptions." I don't give a damn. He looked better when he played against us than what we got. I'll tell you that. So I would have taken him at the time if he was available. I really don't
We
know.
got somebody on the line, Scotty.
Yeah,
What's good? We got Mother Moon on the line. What's good, Mother Moon?
What's up, everyone?
what's up, Mother Moon? How you doing?
What's up?
Good to well, I'm just, reading all these comments,
Uh-huh.
and I am just seeing that there's a lot of talk about quarterbacks. Let me tell you, I was underwhelmed, but I hope AP sees something we don't see, whether it's going to be for this season or for next season. I know we all want it for this season, but there has to be something out there that we are just not picking up that's going on in the practice.
Hopefully.
So, hopefully, yeah. But overall, I enjoyed both games. I enjoyed the game. I loved the ending. That was lots of fun. And especially that we didn't play our starters. Overall, we did well. I think they're going to bring out the beast come the season, though.
I hope so.
I'm hoping that is.
I think they're just holding something back, and they're going to come out beast mode, and who knows.
Well, that's been Scotty's theory all along, right? They're holding back, and they're holding back a lot, and they're going to prove what they actually have on the field week 1. That's kind of been his narrative over the past 2 weeks.
It has
or
because I just can't see how we were that bad. It just doesn't make sense.
I'm not going to put all my eggs into the quarterback. I think it's like always, of course, a team effort. And see what everybody has. And I really liked how Gaynor showed up. He's fighting for a position, and I enjoyed watching him.
Yeah, I balled out. I hope he's on the team. So I want that type of energy back.
I can't wait for the season to start.
All right, Mother Moon. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
All right, everyone.
Bye. Laters. Yeah, no, I think she hit a good point. Like, let's see what all the other positions have to offer, right? Because at the end of the day, I think either quarterback that's going to go in is going to be able to contribute really the same amount of wins. That's why when I say who cares, it's like I'm fine with either is basically what I'm saying. We don't need to sit here and argue over which one's your favorite because they're about the same, I think. Or they could at least both produce about the same amount of wins. But what do we have? Like we have hopefully a number 1 defense. Hopefully we have the defensive player of the year, right? Hopefully we've improved at the offensive weapon position with the draft pick and in drafting the best player available. And last year the Raiders lost by just a few points on several games. So hopefully the offense could get over that hump and the defense could get a little better, hold them to a few less points. And maybe the Raiders end up, like I said, maybe they end up squibbing in at about, I know you can't go 500, but about a 500 record to make the playoffs. And we're excited to at least see that sort of momentum and improvement going into this next season and the season after. Because I really think this is going to take years to really become a team that we really want to see on the field.
But you know what you just said, and I'm not. This isn't talking crap. But you just said what we say every year. We look good on paper. That's basically, and we do, and we do, and every year we need. Why do we look good on paper? Because we have these other, but the main position, we don't have it. Because I'll tell you, if we had gotten one of these top-notch quarterbacks that was out there, we'd be singing a different tune. Period. Again, like you said, I don't think there's a gray area to that. We would be singing a different tune right now if we had gotten one of these quarterbacks that got drafted. So, based on what we saw in preseason, based on what we saw last year from AOC, what we've seen over the years from Gardner Minshew, we look good on paper. We got good players. We got some Hall of Famers on the future Hall of Famers on the team. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Great.
All right, well, let's see what happens. We'll see what happens. Again, check out our channel on this Wednesday for the state of the team. I'll be at that event. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to like film or anything like that, but hopefully I can at least get you some behind the scenes footage, even if it's not live. Check it out for, maybe I can release it the next day or something. And again, if you want to get on the home opener raffle, I'm going to post it on Spicy Raider Girl on Facebook right after this show. So get in on that. Again, if you want to get in and you're watching the show and you're watching it live, I'm offering a special $10 per entry, which is less than what I'm going to post it for, as a thank you to supporting the channel and participating and being part of Monday Night Madness. Any final thoughts, Scotty?
No, I just Rick was saying a couple things in there. Rick, I'm not sure if I'm going to make that game against San Diego, but I will be at the home opener for sure. I just saw something in the comments. But last thoughts. Let's go, man. Look, if it's Minshew, great. Minshew make some plays. I don't give a damn who it is. Just make some plays. And if he doesn't make some plays, I have to agree with you, Spicy, as I always have on this point. We have the right to criticize the damn team because we're spending the money. Period and point blank. And if you ain't doing it,
well, just one last comment to that. Not only that, I think we have the right to expect more and to want more and to deserve more and not to be comfortable with average or mediocrity. And that's just a fact. That's not an opinion. If the Raiders are 8-9, that's a mediocre team. So if you don't like it, don't take it up with me. Take it up with them. But we go out one way and only one way. Raiders.
Fact is, I grew up in Compton, California. I was born a Raider. I was born with the Raiders rolling in the Coliseum in LA. I was rolling with NWA, talking straight out of Compton, rocking Raider hats.
Clicked in my mind that if you just run through somebody's face, a lot of people ain't gonna be able to take that over and 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 over. Run through a motherfucker face.
I think this journey's the most special because there's not a lot of people that have the opportunity playing in high school and college and then pro and then being injured and starting coaching as a young coach.
We understand what it's about. We understand Raider Nation. We understand Raider love. Since 1966, you guys have been coming to this stadium and you've been rooting this team on to victory. You've seen this team win 3 Super Bowls. You've been here through the ups. You've been here through the downs, but you never waver.
The mental side of the game is taking me to the next level, and it's true confidence. It's feeding your brain elite of elite, and as I always talk about 1% and more is required, and I always say these things, but it's what I live. I see it everywhere I go because you have to constantly train your mind for greatness.
All right, Raider Nation, thank you for joining us for Monday Night Madness. See you next week.